Oh! Alright. Let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on, what do we got?
Keep going though, man. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the fuck out of that, man. Holy fucking shit! So good. Yo, Captain Pearl.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude.
Holy shit. Dude, good game. Fucking good game. Are you ready? I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
My little bite.
Ready?
Bitch.
Always steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you. Oh! Alright, let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on, what do we got?
Keep going though, man. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the fuck out of that, man. Holy fucking shit! So good. Yo, Captain Pearl.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude.
Holy shit. Dude, good game. Fucking good game. Are you ready? I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
It's my little bite.
Ready?
Bitch.
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you. Oh! Alright, let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on, what do we got?
Keep going though, man. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the fuck out of that, man. Holy fucking shit! So good. Yo, Captain Pearl.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude.
Holy shit. Dude, good game. Fucking good game. Are you ready? I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
It's my little bite.
Ready?
Bitch.
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those
We're live.
Oh,
Hi.
hello.
How the fricks it going?
Hello, my
Good to have you here.
friends.
Freaking appreciate you being here. What's going
Stay
on?
a while and listen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they will be doing both of those things, hopefully.
You guys chat to chat for a minute. I'm going to start the
G'day, Cal
recording. in the other room.
Drogo.
Hey,
Welcome
g'day,
in,
Cal.
mate.
How are you, brother? Cal, we're on the, well, I already told you, but we're on the D2 train, well and truly.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Me and Grizz
It's good.
did Vault of Glass. What night was that, Grizz?
G'day, Lee.
Monday?
That was on...
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday, was it? Dude, I actually was trying to think what I've done since the last podcast, and I can't... It's the week has just
G'day,
turned
Lee.
into an amalgamation of days.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Mia about that before. She was like, she sent me a photo of the cat. She was like, you see that photo of the cat? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, no, you didn't. And I was like, just send it to you. And I was like, wait, what? Fucking, I don't know where I am. I'm stuck in a space-time continuum. I'm stuck in the Vault of Glass, mate. All
Is
time shit's
Sukai
going on.
playing... Sukai, g'day, Sukai. Are you playing Destiny, mate? We're organising an all raid speed run, Sukai. G'day, olds.
What's happening?
Ols.
Welcome.
G'day, Ols.
Yeah, mate.
All raid speed
My
run.
morning
we
shower is complete.
did Vog.
Complete.
Vog's good, eh, Cat? That was good fun, mate.
That was good fun. Yeah, it was like a bit of a blast from the past, literally.
Yep.
But yeah.
Blast arena from the past arena.
Fucking good. Fucking real good.
What did I do on
Well,
the weekend, Cap?
I don't know. Fucking keep it for the banter section. Also, we got the have you got the link we need?
I've got it. Oh,
What link? Who?
yes.
I've got it. I've got it ready. Yep.
Already?
Yeah.
Cool. It's in the Discord as well.
Grizz, did you look into the Path of Exile stuff?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Cool, because I kind of remember, but I kind of don't remember.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I got it. Got it pretty in hand.
Cool.
Don't worry
A
about
lot
it.
of the action.
Yeah.
Are we ready to kick it off?
I think we're ready to kick it off. Let's fucking kick it off.
Beautiful. All right.
Get in the tits.
G'day and welcome to Oceanic Gaming Radio. This is the podcast where we put a bit of an Aussie spin on the week's gaming news, talk a bit about generalized gaming facts, knowledge. We like the Australian gaming Gandals. But yeah, my name's Cap, coming to you live from Twitch, and we are recording this as a podcast right now. And alongside me are my wonderful favourite people, Pavlova Face and Grizzly Gaming 86. How are we?
G'day, Cap.
G'day,
I'm
fellas.
good. How are you, Pav? You good, Pav?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Pav went to Pixel Expo thing.
Yes. I had
Yeah.
Pixel Expo on the weekend where I was kindly
It looked like a
invited.
blast.
Oh, it was awesome, dude.
Kind of
I had-
invited you on a fucking panel. What are you talking about?
So
I was kind of invited to this thing. Jesus.
Pav's a professional, guys.
Oh,
He's
I
a
don't know.
professional content
My first
man
panel,
these
first
days.
panel
Yeah.
I've ever done. Very exciting. On a big stage as well. It's pretty cool. It was
How
very
many
early.
people? How many people? Were
Yes,
watching
that's the thing.
you,
It was
Pav?
very
Yeah.
early in the morning, so it wasn't a very full theater, but it was cool. It was still cool to be on the stage. It was really cool.
It would have been fun
Hell yeah,
regardless.
Yeah.
So give us a rundown of kind of what you did.
What I did through the day. Well, as I was about to say, I was invited to be the Twitch Pals coordinator for the day, which was a bunch of streamers who were doing stuff around the expo in the lead up and on the
before
day.
you get too into this,
Yeah,
Pav,
go.
maybe just give the listeners what is Pixel Expo?
Pixel
What
Expo
is
is a Perth-based anime and gaming convention. This is the first year it's been run, and yeah, it's a fully non-for-profit, all run by people in there doing volunteer, setting it up in their own time
Very cool.
in between
Very
full-time
rad.
jobs.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool. So it's like a con by people who have lived their life through cons. It's yeah, it was very cool. Very, very
Dude,
cool
I've
feeling,
never been to a gaming con.
dude.
Ever.
Are you serious?
Dude.
I'm serious.
What? Not even like,
I've
oh
never
man.
been to a
I can't believe you haven't
gaming
been to
con,
Supernova.
No, never been to Supernova. No,
My guy.
Jeez, dude. It's you should take the kids, man. It's good fun.
should get to one. Maybe the next one I'll try to get into it. Yeah.
So now, Pav, I want to know what happened on stage, mate. That's what I want.
So that was
that's
cool.
The stuff I want.
We were playing Jackbox. Twitch plays Jackbox. There were a few of us. It was just causing a bit of mayhem, just talking shit. Yeah, just a classic session of Jackbox. It really was. But the host was none other than John Robertson.
Yeah,
Robertson. I hope that's his name.
I think that is. I think that is their name.
Robotron is Robotron on Twitch. He's a Perth-based comedian. Well, he was a Perth-born comedian, but he's been in the UK for a while and touring around with his comedy show called The Dark Room, which was fantastic.
So he was doing The Dark Room as some kind of Twitch thing for a little while as well, I believe.
Yeah. It's interactive. Yeah, he was doing it on Twitch
which was
as well.
quite like I can't quite remember exactly what I saw, but it was quite in depth. It was really cool.
Yeah, so it's exactly the same thing. So it started as a stage show, and then he integrated into Twitch when the lockdown all happened. But yeah, very cool.
Freaking rad. Well, cool, man. Cool. I didn't do
it's
anything even remotely as cool, unfortunately. In fact, I would even go as far to say I basically did nothing over the weekend, which was really nice.
I was trying to rack my brain to tell you something exciting that I did in the last week, and I've done fuck all. The probably one thing exciting that I did, Cap, was I was the parent helper for one of my daughter's trips to the Perth Zoo Friday
that would have been
last
sick.
week.
That's definitely something.
Cool. Yeah, that was definitely something. It was like I had 5 little kids that called me Mr. Weagle. Well, I just doxed myself, but there you go. But that was pretty cool. And
awesome. I don't know why I find that funny. I just can't imagine you being responsible at all.
That's exactly, It's like keep counting. Man, stuff having more than 3 kids, Cap. Like an extra 2 makes a big difference.
Mate, some having more than 1 or 2 kids. Fucking hell. You Weagles are freaking maniacs when it comes to that. But did anything crazy happen at the zoo? Like,
I'm trying to think. No, dude, it was honestly just like it was pretty normal. We saw the red panda and my favorite thing is the gibbons, the monkeys, the gibbons.
Yeah, they're the best, aren't they? They're the ones with the moustaches.
Dude. Yes.
They look like they're about to, tell you how to do your job properly or something. I don't know.
They look real serious and stuff as well, don't they?
Yeah. I
remember Joyce loved it, though. She had an absolute cracker of a time.
Oh, yeah. What was her favorite?
Well, they actually did this amazing job. They actually had a tour guide take us through the Australian bush bit and talk to us in the Noongar language and basically told a story about all the, those old stories, Cap, that we used to have in school about, how all the different weather cycle and what they call it. And it was just it was really cool, really in depth. And
that's sick.
It was great, mate.
So for those listening internationally, the Noongar language is the sort of local, dialect for our Aboriginal people that sort of in our region here in WA. That's their local dialect. But yeah, very, very fucking radical.
I don't remember a thing about it. I wish I did, but I have a memory like a sieve, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would speak to you in the dialect, Cap, if I could, mate.
I wish I could learn more languages. I don't know if my brain's actually wired to do it. I think I'm kind of the same with as you, just the old bloody sieve brain.
Per favore.
Per favore. Jesus Christ. I hope we got no Italian listeners. They're going, what the fuck?
No, Cap. Pav did an extra stream because we missed Monday's stream. Sorry for the delay in this one.
Yeah, apologies when you get to this podcast. Sorry.
It was my fuck up. I take the blame. Yep. Anyway, Pav, what did you do? You did a tier list.
All right. So myself, along with the community that joined me on Monday night's stream, we put together a little tier list of 10 franchises. So I've chucked a link in there for you. You can have a little gander for our friends at home. It is on the screen as well.
Oh,
OGR. He said the OGR. So Cap, we inadvertently endorsed this.
No. So this is
Wait
the
a
OGR community. So the
okay.
community
Okay.
have
Right. Oh,
So we're
man.
judging the.
we thought we'd like to
here.
see how you guys correspond with
Okay.
with these choices.
Well, let's kind of go through it
Let's-
from the bottom up, shall we?
Beautiful.
You know, so never played of the community. Never played. So no one in the community's never played a Fire Emblem game. Are you fucking kidding me?
I think that was one of the earlier ones in the stream that no one
I
had.
know of it,
right.
dude, but I don't even know if I played Fire Emblem, to be honest.
Man, I remember playing one on the Game Boy Advance. Banger game. Can't remember which one it was. But yeah, very good.
F-Zero though. F-Zero was Super Nintendo like racing fucking.
Yeah, that's where Captain
Racing
Falcon
game, wasn't
comes from.
Captain Falcon,
Punch!
that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And obviously Mother, Mother is where Ness comes from. See, I'm just all my knowledge is like Super Smash Brothers like characters. So yeah, Mother's like Ness is from Mother. There's another little child that comes from there as well that's in there. Rhythm Heaven. Is that thing you play on the bongo drums?
No idea.
I don't
No?
think so.
No? Okay.
know.
Maybe I'm
I don't
thinking of something else. Okay. The legendary Starfy. What the fuck is that? I've never heard that in my life. Where the hell did you get this list of shit?
Dude, I don't know. It was just on tierlistmaker.com or whatever.
Punch
Jesus,
Out.
no,
There you go.
I'm not surprised no
Punch-Out's-
one's fucking
Punch-Out's
played
a
that.
classic.
Yeah.
Punch-Out's a classic. Okay.
I
I've
wouldn't
played
rate
the
that as
early
being
one.
a great Nintendo game though. Like it's just not. But it was.
Yeah.
Okay, I
I think it's iconic, but I've never played it.
Iconic.
It's definitely iconic, that's for sure. Okay, well let's go through the actual tier list. So D tier, Arms and Dr. Mario. What you don't
Yeah.
like freaking medicine? Community? Okay. All right.
agree.
I kind of agree with that. C, Xenoblade Chronicles, Luigi's Mansion, Star Fox,
Ooh,
Splatoon,
Star Fox
Mario
was-
and Luigi, which I assume is the RPG series,
Yep.
Golden Sun, and Kid Icarus. I agree with Kid Icarus, and I agree with that's about it, frankly.
Yeah. Super Mario RPG was great. Star Fox was fucking at least.
Yeah, dude, Star
surely
Fox
up.
is like, dude, do you know what? Star Fox, that game fucking pioneered 3D rendering in a 2D space.
That's right.
Like,
yeah.
are you fucking kidding me, OGR
Those
community?
weird
Who the
polygon-
fuck do you think you are?
polygons.
Jesus. Also,
just before
Golden
we-
Sun?
Before we move on, I'd like to direct any complaints to our good friend Caging Runt here in chat, one
Okay.
of our wonderful Patreon subs.
Yep. Okay. Classic. This is the kind of thing I'd expect from that guy. So yeah, I'll probably move all those up a tier at least. Okay. So B tier was Yoshi, just Yoshi in general, I suppose, just the idea of Yoshi. Advance Wars, which I don't know. I never played Advance Wars, but
Oh man.
yeah, Bayonetta. I've played a little bit of Bayonetta and it never really grabbed me. Donkey Kong.
That's
whew,
it. Donkey
man.
Kong's in B. I'm out of here.
Yeah, Grizzly's quitting the podcast. Pikmin. I actually would put Pikmin in D, in all honesty. And Paper Mario. I think Paper Mario is A class, easy A class.
Dude,
Banger
Donkey Kong
game.
is S all the way, baby. That is.
Dude,
that's
it's kind of crazy to even like consider putting a lot of Nintendo IPs outside of S and A tier. To be quite honest, like
Yeah, they're all quite good. It's true.
So okay, that's B tier. A tier: Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, WarioWare, Kirby, and Mario Party. Dude, how the fuck did WarioWare make its way into this A tier? What the actual hell, dude?
I don't reckon Kirby could slip down to C2 potentially.
Yeah,
mate.
I don't know. I reckon Kirby's very average. Now, okay, final S tier: The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, Super Mario, and Metroid. I think I agree with all those. I think those are the ones that I would probably call S tier as well. Just having a brief look. To be honest, I'd probably put Super Smash Brothers in S tier as well. I mean, that's
Super Smash
like
Brothers.
Yeah,
That's
that one was
fantastic.
tight. That was tight.
Donkey Kong, surely S tier.
and
if
Donkey
we're
Kong.
talking about Yoshi's Island, is a great game as well on the Super. Nintendo.
Yoshi's Island's really
Yoshi,
good. I-
Yoshi
that
is
should
general.
at least be
Fuck
A.
that guy. Yoshi. I mean, it just says Yoshi, so maybe it's not Yoshi's Island.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just
it could be
Yoshi as a
the
character.
Yoshi's what was it? The one
the
on
Woolly-
on
Woolly
64.
World. Yeah.
Remember that one?
Oh,
You remember the one I'm thinking of where it was kind of like, oh my God, why can't I think of the name of it? Anyways, it could be that one as well. There's a lot of Yoshi games. There is now anyway. But yeah, Caging Runts in chat saying Zelda and Metroid should be SS tier though. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think they are
Super Metroid Super NES
amazing.
though. I haven't really gotten into actually Metroid Dread. I still need to try that, Cap. I hear that.
Oh, dude, I reckon you'd froth it. It's the way that they kind of they've almost it's kind of weird for Nintendo to I don't know, kind of fan service a game in this way to the point where they've kind of treated it almost as if you should always speedrun it.
Yeah, right.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Like
Anyways, yeah. Interesting list. OGR community. Don't know how much I agree with it, but anyways.
The one reaction I think we were looking for, Xenoblade Chronicles was originally a bit higher on the list, but it was there was some campaigns.
I would honestly put it on B. In all honesty, max. It's good, but it's not amazing. It's not a S or an A tier. It's okay.
There you go, team. We dropped that a bit lower just to see if you get annoyed at us.
No, I think WarioWare being A tier is the one that annoys me the most.
I can't miss that. WarioWare is one of the few Nintendo games I played as a kid, and I fucking loved it. All right, let's move on.
Dude, I want to know what the legendary Starfy. I've never heard of this game in my life.
Yeah,
must be great.
Yeah, I'm even looking at some of the pictures, and it's just these chibi stars that I have never ever seen.
I think during the stream
in my life.
During the stream, one person said they knew someone that has played it, and they loved it. But I was like, I can't go by that.
I know someone. I met someone once who played that game.
Interesting. It actually doesn't look that bad. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Kirby again.
It does. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks, community. Appreciate you. We'll hopefully be doing a few more of these kinds of streams. So check out the channel, twitch.tv/Oceanic Gaming Radio. Go and follow the channel and the Twitter. And yeah, I'm sure you'll probably see us doing the things. My cousin knows this guy who loves that game. Yeah, classic.
That's it.
Classic. All right. Well, I think that kind of covers all the banter shit that I think I'm going to allow, especially with those tiers. But anyways, let's jump into the fucking podcast. Firstly, again, thank you so much for joining us. We bloody appreciate you, and we especially appreciate our wonderful Patreons, as always, coming out each month, putting their wallets on the line for your fellow podcasting hosts. We bloody appreciate it big time. But yeah, thank you to Sukai, Moosey, Ho and Honey, Caging Runt, Sergeant Paul, and Lee GD. Appreciate
legends.
You. Big kisses across the airwaves. But yeah, if you guys want to become a Patreon donator and donate to this little ragtag team of podcasters, you can do so by going to patreon.com/OGR show, I believe. I actually looked up the URL for once this week. And I believe you can find it there. Otherwise, if that's not the correct URL because I've misplaced it, just look up Oceanic Gaming Radio Patreon. And you too can be giving us money. So there you go. Now, pretty interesting topics this week, if I do say so myself, Grizzly. Yep. We've got a few things on the books. Path of Exile players are, things are going down in Path of Exile land. Okay,
They're not happy.
I'm gonna tell you, they're not happy. They're the opposite of happy. They're unhappy. Tencent and Sony have just bought shares in something, and we're going to tell you exactly what that something is. There's maintenance coming to a well-loved FROMSOFTWARE game soon. We'll tell you what game it is, and I bet you can probably guess. Call of Duty, Diablo, and Overwatch. Some stuff happening there too. Coming to Game Pass. We're going to tell you all about that acquisition deal and what that means. Grizz has got some streamer drama that he wants to drop on y'all. Okay, he loves streaming. He loves streamers, and he
had to pay Cap $100 to allow me.
Yeah, I said there's no way we're talking about streamer drama on this podcast, and Grizz was like, "Please, Cap, please." I was like, "For fuck's sakes, all right." Anyway, so Grizz is going to give you the lowdown on that, and I'm going to go, yes. And then we've got some stuff, some more Diablo Immortal bits and pieces happening. This story that we're going to talk to you about, I know a lot of the time we call it immoral, but I don't know. I find this particular story quite funny. I think it's quite hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, we got that. The OGR poll is coming at you, and we've also got the quick fire news at the end. So freaking strap yourselves in. Turn on your aircon if you're in the car, because it's about to get spicy in here. And also pour yourself a tea, because that's really important as well. All right, Grizz, Path of Exile.
Path of Exile, baby. All right, Cap. So the new Path of Exile expansion / let's call it an expansion. Lake of Caldara was launched in August 19th, so not long ago. When was that? A couple of weeks ago? 3 weeks ago now?
Yeah, it's about that.
It promised a new way for players to earn endgame gear by exploring basically this tight. It's got like tablets, lake kind of thing.
Yeah.
Has the power to reflect entire encounters from elsewhere in the PoE world, so you can find basically monsters from anywhere in the game.
Yeah. And they all just kind of amalgamate into this lake area.
Yeah, that you can kind of build your own through applying different modifiers and bits and pieces to the lake. Now, it wasn't particularly well received. A lot of players kind of came across saying that it was a bit boring and a little bit unrewarding, especially compared to previous expansions, seasons that they've had. And on top of this, because there wasn't a lot of content, Grinding Gears didn't go and fix a lot of the historical issues with the game.
So Grinding Gears is the developer, right?
Grinding Gears is the developer. I'm not going to dig too far into these because I don't play a lot of the game, but I'm just going to list them off here, Cap. Some of the existing faults for the game related to the Arc Nemesis system, apparently some crafting, some tainted fusings, and probably the most controversial of the lot is when they introduced this season, they did a blind nerf to loot drops. So they didn't say it in the patch notes or anything, but they basically removed this static drop chance for some of the previous season's gear. So
and it was something like 50 to 80%, wasn't it? Like
massive.
Just gone.
And what's really interesting, Cap, is the community started to notice this. So they were putting in, you basically put these end games maps in, and you can kind of like juice your map to make it potentially drop lots of loot. And they were like, "This isn't right. Like, what's
I'm getting fuck all from this.
What the fuck's happening here?
Spending hours doing this and getting nothing."
You know what people are like, big spreadsheet of runs and items dropped and everything else, and figured out, something is definitely going on. It's Grinding Gears game came out, and a developer came out and did like a bit of an announcement on Twitter to kind of address this and say, yes, you guys are right. We did tweak some of the drop rates of some of the historical items.
More than a fucking tweak. I mean, 80% is a bit more than a tweak.
Yeah, big one. So a lot of people basically came to this season thinking potentially they're going to fix some of these bugs, we're going to get to see some new content, and basically they're left with this kind of stale feeling season, along with all this historical stuff that hasn't been fixed and a nerf to the drop rate. So it has resulted, Cap, in people being pretty dang unhappy. And we've seen this on the Steam reviews, which you pointed out to me a while ago. I went and had a look through some of those. So
what's it looking like at the moment? Like it must be pretty bad.
It's mostly negative. 6,000 negative reviews since the drop of the expansion, a significant amount. And I just want to read. I've put out a couple of the comments here from the Steam reviews that I think really weigh in on this conversation pretty well. So the first guy goes, "Look at my hours, and believe me when I say the game is in the worst state it has ever been in." And this guy had 7,000 hours to his name. Now, Kat, you and I tried to play this. You and I gave this a tickle, didn't we?
Oh man, do you know what? I want to like Path of Exile, but I just there's something holding me back, and I don't think it's something. I kind of know what it is. Maybe we'll get to that in a bit once we sort of get through the rest of what's going on here.
So this review here kind of wrapped up my experience and how I felt with the game. He said, "A casual player jumping into this game has no chance figuring out any of this crap out before they just quit. It's not worth your time or anyone else's. I don't even recommend this game to my friends anymore, and I used to bug them each league to play. This league just feels unrewarding, and the drop rate decrease exacerbates that." So
Yeah.
it's hard, man. Like just my experience on it is I was really excited. Last time we spoke last week, I was playing Path of Exile and I was enjoying it. I was up to Act 2 and I just did the old thing that I do every year. I've got 100 hours in this game, Cap, and all 100 of those hours are getting to Act 3 with a brand new seasonal character and going, okay. Didn't find the love there, mate.
Yeah, I mean, and it's I think it's important to sort of say that it's not just this drop chance thing. Like they've kind of fucked over a few of the. So they basically tried to bring forward some of the older mechanics with crafting in earlier leagues and stuff, and they basically made it so you have to use more resources and essentially made it less rewarding again. So they've doubled down on the less rewards, essentially, made it feel shitter. And then on top of that, they had that arch nemesis system that you were talking about, which was kind of like I heard it described as like a Build-A-Bear, monster system. So you could choose all the traits and shit you wanted on your enemy. It was going to be your boss, and then you go and fight it. Now the thing is that a lot of players kind of felt like it was pretty shit because all the modifiers and stuff on those bosses were just really tedious and annoying and not particularly fun to play against.
And there was no way, once you've done that, there's no way to change that, I heard. So that was in your game and you'd come across that unit.
And then on top of that, well, the thing was though, right? You were able to avoid that content for the most part. You didn't have to partake in it, and it didn't really sort of inhibit your gameplay or your gearing up and stuff. Now, all those modifiers have been chucked into the modifier pool for all boss enemies and stuff. And so now you're constantly having to deal with these stupidly fucking annoying bosses that, also don't drop any loot. So it's just kind of like, Jesus.
That was like Lake of Calandra. That's what Ziggy D is, an Australian content creator who did a fantastic video on this. If you want to go get all the gossip, I recommend it. I think it might even be the last video he posted, but he was kind of talking about this, and this comment here is interesting. He said, the Path of Exile player base is the most united I've ever seen it. Unfortunately, it's over being very unhappy with the current state of the game and the developers' initial response to their complaints, which is talking about the response to the drop rate thing was kind of not very well handled either. So, yeah.
Now, Grizz, didn't they announce Path of Exile 2 or some shit a while back?
Yeah. So we know that there's Path of Exile 2 in the works, and I don't know for sure, Cap, but what do you reckon, mate? Do you think they're just trying to get these across the line as they...
I'm kind of wondering, right, if they're kind of trying to squeeze as little content out as they possibly can whilst also squeezing their players to do more in that content. So it's kind of like trying to, like, this balance of scales, because obviously they probably don't want to put an awful lot of dev time into the current game because they know they're going to be bringing out Path of Exile 2, right? So how can we kind of make less in the current game, still retain players, but then also, kind of maintain that? So maybe they just went too hard on the trying to wind the dials back a little bit and I mean, they went pretty fucking hard by the sounds of things. Unfortunately, and it's obviously bitten them on the ass, but
on the ass a bit, yeah. And I went and look at the Steam charts for this, Cap, just to see the active players.
Yeah.
So when it was released, 151K was the peak.
When Lake of Calandra
dropped, it's now sitting. It's actually not too bad. It's more than halved. It's 61K is the peak now.
I wonder what your kind of average is for right about now in the league. Surely it wouldn't be that low though. Like a half drop is pretty big. And I assume a lot of players are probably going, well, fuck this. I'm not going to put my time into this. I'd rather go and put my time into something that, something way more rewarding, like Diablo Immortal or something.
Well, Cap, an interesting tidbit here. I just couldn't help myself. I went and checked out what Elden Ring's peak numbers were like. They are currently holding 50,000 peak concurrent in 24 hours. Elden Ring, there you go.
we can't keep doing this. We can't. They're not even the same game.
This is an interesting one. How many people do you think play Dota 2 in a 24-hour period? Peak concurrent.
Oh man,
what do you think?
It'd have to be like 500,000,
800,000 in a 24-hour
really?
blog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I was going to go higher, but I thought, no, don't hedge your bets too high, mate. Jesus. Well, Grizz,
Yeah.
see, and I think coming back to that comment that you were talking about with the Steam review, I do think
Yeah.
that Path of Exile has a horrifically poor, like, new player onboarding system. And like, I've got mates who play currently, and they're like, "Oh, you just learn it, you just learn it." I'm not an idiot. Of course, I know that, but I don't want to immerse myself in a world that just does nothing to help you out. And like, you might argue that games like Elden Ring don't give you too much of a hand-holdy experience. But the thing is, I don't have to log into my Elden Ring account and then look at a fucking star map of, every potential possibility of my build ever, and then also have all these kind of weird and inane, crafting systems and this, that, and everything else. Obviously, Path of Exile exists as a game as a service, or what do you call that? Is that what you call it?
I would say
live service kind of, like live service kind of game now. So it's a lot different to a game like that. But I don't know. I feel like you really, like, if you're going to have a game like this, like, think about Destiny 2 or those other kind of games. I don't think Destiny 2 does a very good job of onboarding new players either, by the way, but I will use it as an example. I think you really need to, like a live service game, you need to have a good onboarding experience for new players, because otherwise they're just going to go, well, fuck this, I don't know what's going on, and I can't be fucked putting time into it.
I tell you what, Cap, I 100% agree with you. And when I tried to get into this a couple of weeks ago, I actually came across a YouTuber called Zuzarian who has, it is a Path of Exile University, and it's a series of 15 videos that are.
Are you telling me I've got to go to university to fucking learn this game?
Exactly.
Jesus.
Roughly an hour and a half.
I don't know enough of that.
It goes everything from the basics to the complex stuff, and super complex. Now, this is an external source. This stuff is not covered in the game.
Dude. Are you
it's
kidding
fucking
me?
nuts. But I also will say, dude, that Dota 2 had the same issue probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was a known issue where so hard to get into that game. Like, I'm not going to talk about the specifics, but essentially they really worked hard to get some training and tutorial things up and running to help you learn how to play that MOBA effectively. Still a bit garbagio. That's quite hard to get
But at
into.
least they recognized it and addressed it. Like, fuck, man. Like Path of Exile's been out for ages now. Surely, like, but again, Grizz, maybe we come back to this point of maybe they've just checked out. Maybe they're going, let's just keep this thing on life support and put all of that time and effort into Path of Exile 2 once we're ready to. I do vaguely remember some kind of trailer where they were like on a caravan and going through the desert or something for the Path of Exile 2 trailer from vague memory.
Some stuff,
it looks really cool from what I do vaguely remember. But anyways.
Well, my takeaways on this, Cap, is PoE for quite a long time. I feel like they have been the golden child. They actually stole a lot of Diablo 3 players who kind of felt that void post Diablo 2. Now, the game is free, Cap, as well. That's something else that we got to keep in mind, right? So,
true.
To expect that
paid elements, though.
Paid elements, but to expect to be getting these groundbreaking, quite game-changing seasons. Diablo 3 doesn't get that, and that game's you pay for that game to play it. I will also say that historically, grinding gear games have been amazing with their community engagement, Cap. So they quite often appear on streamers' streams for little interviews, bits and pieces. They respond to Reddit posts, like they did to this one when they found out about the drop chance. They actually posted to Reddit. That kind of engagement you don't get out of Blizzard and EA, Ubisoft, those big studios. So it is also, I kind of feel a bit here that, people are pissed off about this season. And I also feel that maybe they've been sport for quite a long time. And and if the game sucks in its current state, the game sucks in its current state. Maybe they'll fix it in the next patch and those people will be back.
Maybe not. I mean, I definitely agree and think maybe they're suffering from the Blizzard effect of, flying too close to the sun and, their wings are melting.
Overstretching a bit.
But I mean, they have monetization features in there that kind of help, I would assume. Like I believe they've got a thing called Kirik's Vault, which is kind of like a battle pass system and stuff. But
I quite like it, dude. I've bought stuff in Path of Exile. So, for example, you can buy stash. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know why, but when I played it last time, I did because there's one that organizes your currencies. You know how complicated all the currencies are in it. They're all like different stacks.
You have to
like
buy
shit.
the ability to organize your currency.
Well, it just creates a stash tab that already is like all the currency has its own little spot, and it just like puts it in there.
Dude, that is so annoying. I can't believe you have to buy that.
No. Wait, let me just let me just explain this a bit better. Diablo 3, for example, just have a stash tab, just fucking blocks, and you put items in it.
Yeah.
Path of Exile has like, because there's so many currencies, it has like them ordered into. You just shift click them in there and they go to like where they should be, you know?
Yeah.
You still don't like that? Not a fan?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. Like Cal in chat is kind of saying, you know, the idea of quality of life microtransactions kind of just bothers me immensely. Cosmetics, no walkers. But yeah, when I'm having to buy like extra bag space and stuff, that's just fucking annoying.
Yeah,
and
you do.
I do understand that it's a free to play game, like, you know, whatever, but you know, I suppose other games where you have to buy to get in and then buy more stuff, kind of like Destiny 2 or, you know, even Diablo, etc. Yeah. Do you think, Grizz, that this will have a long-lasting effect on people's sentiment towards PoE and maybe lead to higher uptake of Diablo 4 when it inevitably comes out probably next year, I assume?
I don't reckon, man. Well, it's my personal opinion. I think there's still enough time for Grinding Gear Games to redeem themselves through the next season before Diablo 4 drops. I think if they were to have a cracking season and actually bring something out and fix some of the issues that people have been vocal about, like we discussed with the crafting and the Nemesis system, and have something meaningful, I think people will be back to play it. But yeah, who knows?
So time will tell basically how they address the current state.
Time will tell.
Can they...
I think there definitely is time for them to redeem themselves. We haven't got any... I mean, when's Diablo 4 coming out? What have they got? Next year?
Well, we don't know for sure, I don't think, but I would say probably first half of next year, hopefully. If we're lucky. We're seeing a fair bit of... you know, they've already started doing the Friends and Family beta. So I would assume...
And at that point, Grinding Gear Games will probably be licking their lips getting ready for the PoE 2 release, right?
Well, I mean, we haven't heard much about PoE 2 since it was kind of announced a while back. So, I mean, I certainly fucking haven't. So, who knows? Who knows what state that's in, dude? And it might be one of these things where, I don't know, whoever, you got to strike whilst the iron's hot. I feel like people are fucking ready to go for a good action RPG kind of Diablo-esque game, dude. Ready. People want it now.
Yeah, I fucking want something now. I will say this, though, Cap. Trick me enough times, Grinding Gear Games. I am not coming back to Path of Exile.
Okay, you heard it here first. I bet you I see you in there in fucking a year's time.
100 hours
someone clip this.
And I literally haven't even got to the end game. I'm like in Act 3 and about 10 different characters.
Yeah, I mean, what is it for you, Grizz? What is it for you that you can't mesh with?
I did write some notes here. Okay, Act 3. This is how I was feeling by Act 3. Unrewarded, overwhelmed, unenthused by the story and the graphics. I was dying to stuff, but I had no idea what I was dying to. And that essentially was it. But yeah, the story just didn't capture me. The cutscenes and stuff, found myself skipping through it. While I liked progress, that's true. While I liked progressing through the talent tree, I just didn't feel rewarded for the things I was doing yet. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. My very small, I probably have about 15, 20 hours, and I think the aesthetic is just completely uninteresting. I don't really even know what the aesthetic is. At least with Diablo, it's a very obvious, like, fucking angels versus demons and anything adjacent. Whereas with this, it's just kind of like, oh, there's zombies on the beach, and now you're in the middle of a fucking camp, and there's fucking shit going on. I don't know. Yeah, there's a forest. Yeah.
And there's some zombies in the forest too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's obviously fantasy, but like, I don't know, it didn't grip me. Like, it really didn't grab me, and I don't know. It's for me, story is just so important, and if you can't get that right, it's going to be very difficult for me to stick around. And on top of that, as we discussed, new player onboarding is fucking horrific. So, anyways, what do you do? But yeah, okay. Well, people are angry, Grizz. That's how. And
angry. People are always angry, Cap, aren't they? People are angry.
Now, wait till those same people hear that Tencent has bought 16% of From Software, they're going to be shitting their pants. You think they're angry? Wait till they hear that. The good news is, well, maybe good news.
His
What's
value
it, sorry?
From Software. I bet Caging Runt doesn't know this, that his, lovely From Software is now owned by Tencent.
Yeah.
Partially.
Yep.
And
partially. Well, yeah, so Tencent bought a 16% stake of shares in From Software, and Sony Interactive Entertainment bought a 14% stake. Now, it's obviously neither of them have kind of a lion's share or anything like that, but obviously they are significant stakes in a incredibly successful company. But yeah, so
now, Cap, Tencent.
Yeah,
we've talked about Tencent before.
Do you need 10 cents,
here,
do you?
Right?
Sorry.
Yeah, I need 10 cents. Yeah. Now, for those that don't know, Tencent has its fingers in a lot of pies.
Oh my God.
Significant amount of pies.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 150 companies, not just gaming, things like Tesla and Reddit, Spotify, Activision, Blizzard, Riot Games, PUBG. They are the world's largest video game publisher.
Yep.
With an investment portfolio including League of Legends, Clash of Clans, Fortnite, and a shitload of mobile games as well, Cap.
Yeah.
What there is some a bit of dodgy stuff surrounding Tencent as well, Capo?
If you haven't heard the name Tencent, not surprising, but they're like the fucking Shadow Emperor, like in Star Wars, sitting in the background and just letting everyone else do all their dirty work for them. They're kind of gross, but yeah, they basically own stakes in a lot of shit. They own a stake in Activision, Fortnite, PUBG. They completely own Riot Games now, I believe.
Do they completely own Riot? Do they? Okay.
I believe so. If not, they own and enough of it to say that they own it. But yeah, basically they do a lot of really dodgy shit. So a lot of copyright infringement, but like not enough to really be caught out for it. And obviously because they have so much money, how are you going to take Tencent to court?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've made like knockoff mobile games of like proper games and just called them something slightly different and stuff like that. Hey, like
so I believe what they did, and I mean, you might argue it's not really that dodgy, but I think the Chinese government basically said no to PUBG Mobile coming on in their their app store or whatever the fuck they have over there, and I believe Tencent basically just reskinned it completely and made them shoot like water guns or something fucking stupid. So obviously they're pretty hungry for money and they're pretty much willing to do whatever it takes. But yeah, I mean they do a lot of other shit, like a lot of cash cow kind of lackluster bits and pieces. Like they do some really crappy, they buy up licenses for a lot of games. So I believe they did a Game of Thrones thing and Command and Conquer bits and pieces like that, and they are basically those games you expect to find on the app stores that are just like the most like low effort fucking like earn wood every day by pressing this one button, and then you use that wood to build your base, and you have like 3 buildings you can create or something fucking stupid. So they're basically shit.
Yep. So loads full of microtransactions, the Tencent mobile games and shady.
Well, here's the thing, like I believe Tencent were some of the first companies to actually employ microtransactions in their games. So these guys are the fucking pioneer of getting money out of your goddamn wallet.
Let me tell you, Cap, I bet they don't cost 10 cents either.
Well, some of them probably do.
Yeah, maybe.
They're micro, mate.
Now, let's talk a little bit about why from a From Software side here, Cap. So there's a press release here where From Software has basically come out saying that they are trying to expand some development options, and they have decided to implement fund procurement by way of third-party allotments. So basically getting other markets to buy some share to allow them to then have a bit more strength in dollars term, right, Capo?
Yep. Love it.
So I think it says that in terms of Tencent, the strength that they can bring is its capabilities to develop and deploy mobile games and other network technologies in a global market, Cap. So
imagine Diablo Immortal, Elden Ring.
Bloodborne 2 on mobile, Cap, with transactions. I can't wait to see it happen.
Yeah, you can imagine the fucking press release for that. What, don't you guys have mobile phones? Fuck. Well, actually, I tell you what, I've got a new mobile phone. I've got one of those folds. So that's my phone, dude. Check that
Oh
bad
my
boy out
god,
on the
that is
screen.
amazing.
And then I've also
Look at
got that as well. Fucking bang.
Jeez.
Look at that. So I could play
Oof.
Bloodborne on this thing.
Easy.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to go.
The same article also said that Sony was bringing to the table is its capabilities to deploy IP in games, videos, and various media on a global market cap. So maybe Bloodborne TV series you've been highly awaiting for with Sony's buy-in here. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? You know, Sony do like that. I think they own the Spider-Man IP, for example, and that's why they're able to keep putting out the Spider-Man games on PlayStation exclusively, essentially, whereas all other Marvel properties kind of can't be done like that because it's owned by Disney and Marvel. So, you know, they have a pretty good track record of being able to turn, you know, some kind of pop culture stuff into reasonable movie adaptations. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll tell you what, dude. Like, how do you think an Elden Ring movie would go?
It would be very hard for them to, because the way that a story is told in Elden Ring and Dark Souls and other bits and pieces is so fucking like you piece it together through little items and bits and pieces, and there's so many like crossing over of people's own little stories through this one story.
Yeah.
I think to give it the weight of a story that you have in those games in a movie format might be a bit lost in translation if it's not really thought about.
Do you know what I think would be a better target?
What's that?
Would be Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And I would do it as a Netflix series.
Yeah. Similar to the way they've done with the Dota.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of think about Bloodborne. I mean, of course, I'm sure they could adapt all of their shit. I'm positive they could do that. Could they do it well? Who fucking knows? Like, I do feel, though, however, that Bloodborne's story was a little bit more pieced together in the sense that you kind of knew roughly what was going on. There was a few what the fuck is happening moments, which you can expect from software games because unless you're actively reading item descriptions and paying attention to every little, you know, grammatical detail in people's speech, then you're probably not going to know what the hell's going on. But I do feel like that game actually gave you a little bit more of the story on the old silver platter.
Yeah.
So I do feel like they could do a really good job. So, but yeah, regardless, I think, is this a good or a bad thing? I mean, it's probably fine. I would assume that both parent company, well, they're not parent companies. Both of these companies are probably smart enough to know that the reason FromSoftware are so big is because they've had artistic direction over all of their IPs to this point.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is they might go Konami and go, well, fuck it, we'll just use this IP and pump it full of, you know, make gacha games and fucking gambling shit off it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doubtful, but I'm sure that they'll try and move into the mobile market. Everyone's moving into the mobile market, Grizz. Makes sense because, again, we've discussed this. You know, us gamers that listen to podcasts like this are a very small little bubble in the big wide world of casual gaming. And when it comes to that, casual gaming on a whole and what the mobile market is as a percentage share is so much bigger than what we can actually allocate financially.
Yeah.
So,
Cap, what's your thoughts on more specifically the Sony acquisition on this? Does this potentially mean they have more of a say of what happens to Bloodborne or Sony exclusives or bits and pieces?
Well, I mean, Sony
shareholder?
own the Bloodborne IP, so they have full say over what happens with that. I think the whole idea is that they basically essentially commissioned FromSoftware to build that game for them, right? Effectively. Yeah. So they can do whatever the fuck they want. Will it affect anything else? Probably not, because again, they've only got 14%, so it's not like exclusive rights.
Yeah.
So it's probably more of a guiding hand than
my 14% of FromSoftware says make Bloodborne 2 for Sony.
Fuck. If we pull everyone's money together in OGR, surely we can get a big big chunk of From Software, and we can get Bloodborne 2 happening.
We should get over 50% and just go. I'm keen. What was that? What was that really interesting story where someone bought a certain amount of shares to go and sit?
The Nintendo guy.
Yeah, what happened there, Kat?
Well, so I think he bought some fucking ridiculous amount of shares just to basically ask the executives why they don't make any more fan servicey games. Right. And they're like, just because we fucking don't want to, basically.
Right, let's fucking buy some shares and then we'll... Yeah.
But I tell you what, though, Nintendo shares wouldn't be a bad investment, in my opinion. You know, I would think
sounds like, I think your mate Cal mentioned that maybe investing in Tencent might be worthwhile too, mate. They're taking over the world.
Yeah, yeah, probably. I don't know. I think Tencent, like they're obviously making some reasonable, financial decisions. But I mean, the last 5 years, Nintendo has risen from 36,000 Japanese yen to 57,700 Japanese yen.
Really?
Yeah. So if that's a fucking pretty good increase. That's like fucking, I don't know, a shitload.
Maths again. Don't make us do maths.
It'd be like 80% increase on you. So if you had a 5 year, if you put, a bit of cash in there, over 5 years, you would have made about 80%, which is not bad. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Safer than crypto, and you're not being bad for the environment.
You're basically giving your money to our good friend Link, the Legend of Zelda.
Please do not take any financial advice from OGR.
No.
Disclaimer.
Especially me. The only thing I know what to do with money is how to spend it.
Tencent owns Warframe, says Pav. There you go. Interesting.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Owns them. Outright owns them. Wow.
Wow. Brutal. But hey, I suppose they're kind of still doing their thing, right? Like, I don't know. Obviously doing, again, I think Tencent tend to be pretty good. Like, I think they buy up smaller publishers and go, okay, you're going to become a bit of a sweatshop for just like mobile shit games. And then they just basically do that. But then they buy up these bigger companies like, obviously Warframe and stuff like that, and go, okay, you guys are making money, continue to make us money, and all is well. And we'll step in if things go a bit pear-shaped, and we'll reuse you for, our global dirt empire over here that's creating these horrific fucking mobile games that, are just fucking like people flying jetpacks in 3 lanes and, Flappy Bird 2 and shit like that. So anyways, but yeah, an interesting acquisition nonetheless, Grizz. What will it mean for From Software? Who knows? Maybe they'll try and get From Software to pump out some Elden Ring DLC sooner rather than later.
Oh, yes, please.
Would love a bit of DLC. Please. May I please have some more, please? Some more in my little fucking bowl. But yeah.
What's going to be your next build, Cap? What's going to be your next?
I'm probably going to go Sorcery, I think.
Sorcery, yeah.
Sorcery. Didn't do any Sorcery in my first run through. So I think I'll go full Sorcery and just cheese it. And I would imagine that the DLC will be difficult, so that'll get me over the line.
Some Sorcery.
Yeah, getting on the Sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now
Grizz,
while we're on the topic of From Software, what have we got? It's a bit of Bloodborne things happening.
So they've announced that there's some server maintenance happening for Bloodborne. So interesting. Basically, Bloodborne's undergoing maintenance on the 31st of August, which has already happened? Question mark?
Yeah, sounds like it's already happened.
So, well, there's no information on what the server maintenance was for, right? So,
always speculation here, Cap. People are jumping out of their skins going, my God, this must be prep for the 60 frame release on PS5 or the Bloodborne 2 news that they're fixing. You know what more to think about this, Cap, is didn't Dark Souls just go through some updates to re-enable some online bits and pieces? Is this potentially
I don't think so, because the what do you call it? The console versions were unaffected.
Okay. There you go.
So I don't know. I don't think this is related. Maybe it is. I don't really know.
Could they be? Why would they be doing server maintenance in a game that's so old? Like,
well, look, maybe they are reducing server stuff because it's not being used as much. And maybe they need to go in there and, untangle some of the servers or whatever and just take some offline. Or maybe they're getting ramped up. Who knows? I mean, look, everyone's been screaming for, either Bloodborne remastered, the PC version of Bloodborne, or just another Bloodborne game, because it is a beloved Sony franchise, and it's just kind of crazy to think that they still haven't done anything with that game since it came out. But I think, Grizz, the most likely thing that might happen is they'll probably just put it on PC, I think.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'd like that.
I think it'll probably... I think look at what they're doing already,
frames, Cap, because I think there was an issue with the reason why... They were saying the reason why it's hard to unlock the frame rate.
Well, that's the thing.
Similar to the way that... I don't know if you ever played Elder Scrolls with an unlocked frame rate, but if you run 144 frames, the bears go flying into the sky and the arrows go shooting way off, and people just start fucking flying and stuff. Like the frame rate is tied to the
physics engine is tied to the frame
physics
rate
engine. Yes.
Yeah. Because it's how they figure out trajectories and stuff based on how many frames have happened over a certain amount of time. And so when you increase the amount of frames, all of a sudden your physics calculations basically go out the fucking window. So, so that's basically the layman's terms of what's going on there. But yeah, so how do they untie? Because people go, oh, just make it 60 frames. It's actually not that fucking easy. And it would be a lot of dev time.
Ooh, hey, maybe the server maintenance was to uncap the frame rate for PC release, mate.
Well, this is what I'm wondering. Did they do something to do some anti-cheat stuff in preparation for something? That's what I reckon maybe this is. Who fucking knows? It is all conjecture, but God, man, I tell you what, there seems to be a story about Bloodborne remaster leak, Bloodborne 2 leak every fucking week, dude.
We're gonna cover them every week too, Cap, aren't we?
Yep, every single week. We're gonna tell you all the hottest Bloodborne leaks that from the leaky ship that is Twitter. But there you go. Now, Grizz, we finally have confirmation. Finally have confirmation of what we thought would be happening. We're getting some Activision Blizzard King stuff on the Xbox Game Pass.
Holy smokes.
If the acquisition passes.
Yes.
Now, it seems pretty good so far. Obviously, you don't just walk into the shop and say, yes, I'll have one Activision Blizzard King, thank you very much, and here is my big bag of money, sir, and walk out the door. There's a lot of shit that happens. So, it's quite a big, quite a big undertaking. So it hasn't quite gone through yet, and I'm sure that there'll still be some time before. What do they buy it for? Fucking $50 billion or something ridiculous?
Something outrageous.
I can't even remember. Maybe someone in chat can do a fact check on that one for us. But basically, if they have that, then they're going to be able to put on to the Xbox Game Pass Call of Duty, Diablo, and Overwatch.
Well, Overwatch is basically shit the bed, but Call of Duty and Diablo, interesting. The one thing that I was curious about this, Cap, is what does it mean for the... why would you pay for those games now if you can get them free on Xbox? It removes a lot of the competition, doesn't it?
Well, so it depends on what they do, though. So, okay, cool. All they've said is these franchises will be on there. What games are going to be on there? Okay, I would expect that Diablo 3 will be on the Game Pass. I would expect that probably the latest iteration of Call of Duty will be on there, but maybe not the one that comes out after.
Diablo 2 remastered on there or not?
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Dang.
I think by this point most people have probably bought their copies of it. They probably made their money off of it. For Overwatch, I'm positive that they'll probably just put the original Overwatch on there and then people buy Overwatch 2. But I don't really know how this works, because now, ABK's kind of in this interesting position where they're backed by this, they're backed by someone who can spend $68 billion. Thank you, Sukai, in chat.
68.
They're backed by someone who can just go, here's $68 billion.
Yeah.
You know? So, and we have seen, you know, let's be frank. Xbox lost the last console generation, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And you
sales say the same, Cap, as well.
And so how have they started to claw their way back? They've had guys like Phil Spencer involved, who is an incredibly likable and legendary CEO. They've started to, and obviously the other big one is that they've had this Xbox Game Pass, which has onboarded so many users. Because, I mean, think about it, Grizz. Think about how many mums go in to buy a console for their kid for Christmas or whatever and go, I need a new console. What, the games are fucking $125 for this? Yeah. Or I could go and buy this Xbox that has all these games and I pay $10 a month. That's what you're telling me. I'll just get the Xbox,
access to the games that he wants. Imagine if the kid asked for, I want a PlayStation 5 with Diablo 3. Right? Yeah. Imagine if he asked for that, right?
Yeah.
And she's going to walk into the shop and the guy's going to be like, you can, that's going to cost you the console plus, like you say, $120, whatever it is. But you're going to get it on the Game Pass now. So that's a pretty big selling point for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holy
they go,
shit.
Also the PlayStation 5's also gone up $50 and
true. Yeah.
Yeah. And this, that,
true.
and everything else. And then, what about the Xbox? Oh, no, they kept their prices the same. And so did Nintendo Switch. Oh, okay. Wonder why they did that. Do you know what is funny, Grizz? I've been thinking more about that whole thing. Right. It actually, I was in the shower and I was like, this really pisses me off because Sony, I mean, none of these companies lower their prices when economically things are looking pretty good and prices go down in components, right? But then they go up when we're having these things happen. It's just, and obviously the consumer ends up having to foot the bill at the end of it.
It's a silicon shortage.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure that the costs have gone up. I'm positive of that. But I'm just saying, when the costs go down, you don't see the fucking price go down, do you?
They're sticking us $125 Cap for new PlayStation 5 games.
That's Australian dollars. So I don't know what the fuck it is elsewhere, but I mean, $125 for a new PS5 game? Jesus Christ, man.
I honestly think, Cap, that cloud gaming and subscription services like Xbox Game Pass in the next couple of years are going to be what we're going to be gaming on. Yeah.
I think
financially, I mean, have a look at what's happened in media. Netflix and other bits and pieces like that have literally taken over. Video stores no longer, mate. It's all digital. It's all digital streaming service, and off you go. Spotify, same thing.
I wonder if we'll see a relative drop in overall game quality, though, Grizz, that inevitably will come with that.
Well, here's the thing, Cap. I'm an audiophile, and the quality loss between a CD and Spotify is noticeable.
Oh yeah.
So I
work with an audiophile who has that same issue. It just my boss just bought a set of headphones that were like $3,000 and uses a DAC into like a DAC interface into the PC, and he also.
What does he think of Spotify? Is he does he listen to Spotify?
Well, he has it, but it's doesn't really like to use it. What he does have is he's recently found this other subscription service. I can't remember what it's called, but it's lossless music streaming. So, but going back into this whole idea of gaming, maybe we see PlayStation slowly kind of expand on their current iteration of the PlayStation Plus stuff, and maybe they do eventually put their newer games onto their subscription service, but maybe they just stimulate for like $30 a month or something, or maybe $35 a month, something like that. Maybe not, probably not. I mean, that seems insane. Just saying it, to be quite honest. $35 a month. Can you imagine paying that?
That's actually quite a lot of. That's quite a lot of spondools there, Cap. It's quite a
mate. Okay.
What are your thoughts on Sony's move, mate? What have they got up their sleeve? How are they going to combat this seemingly inevitable takeover?
They'll do things like buy Bungie and buy stakes in FROMSOFTWARE, so Microsoft can't grab them, and like do all these little bits and pieces, I think, to just sort of hold their foot in the door and have some kind of hold on the market to some degree. I think they'll probably just keep trying to run the same old iteration of, the reason we don't put our new games onto our game passes is because we need the cash to fund these games, which is understandable. They're, I think, God of War was like the money that went into that, man. Like it was something ridiculous. Like, I think
if they can keep securing these exclusive and amazing first party games like the new God of War Ragnarok and bits and pieces, then I guess
that'll just be how it goes. I mean, think about it though, Grizz, okay, I guess probably not the greatest example, but I mean, obviously a lot of streaming services these days have all their own kind of stuff, and people move in between streaming services based on, what they want to watch or what their preferred TV shows are. Maybe that'll kind of eventually come into play, but obviously for now, Sony's not really playing ball on the whole Xbox Game Pass. But I don't really think anyone can play ball on that, really. I mean, I think if anyone was going to do it, Epic Games would have tried to have done it by now. But I mean, the amount of money that Microsoft must be effectively losing from Xbox Game Pass, like it must be a shitload. And they've had to put all that money just to try and claw back into the race.
I feel like EA is going to get bought, hey? Cap, they've said they want to be bought, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of looked like Amazon was going to do it, but that kind of wasn't actually true. So, I mean, EA have expressed that they would like to find a buyer, but no one's bit the bait. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, Grizz.
No bait has been bitteth. Now, Cap, you've given me the okay to talk about streamer drama.
Yes. I'm allowing it this once now.
Had to twist his arm. Look, I am going to put a slight slant on this story and more target it at content creation as a whole. We are obviously content creators on this podcast, and we've dabbled our toes in streaming and still do on bits and pieces here. But the story basically goes like this. In the last couple of weeks, Cap, arguably the two largest, most successful content creators, those being Ninja and Pokimane, have announced that they're taking a step back from game streaming in different ways. Ninja did it in his old classic Spit the Dummy in a absolutely bizarre clip where he was playing Fortnite. He narrowly misses eliminating a player who rifted out in front of him, and he just stepped back from his computer and said, "I need a break. I don't know when I'll be back. Just can't do it anymore." And he basically just finished stream. And a content break. He has lost his check mark on Twitch, Cap. No longer has his Twitch mark. Yeah, check mark's gone. So I don't know what he's done for that to happen. But also his Twitter is using another name. It is called user not found, and his Twitter handle is basically gone. Both of the accounts still exist. So that's the ninja bit. He's having a content break at the moment. And then Pokimane released this video, a YouTube video, very well edited, very Pokimane style, where everything's thought out, almost scripted for her. She looks stunning. She's just kind of sitting there talking away in the way that she does. And basically she's kind of gone, gaming content creation is something that she doesn't really feel is giving her anything. She feels burnt out. It's a hyper-competitive industry. It's very toxic, and that she would like to take a step back from that and focus more on, if she does stream, IRL streaming bits and pieces.
Cool.
So I guess the breakdown on this, Cap, these are the highly successful, Cap, millions of dollars. Ninja's net worth is 25 million. That's what he's worth. Significant amount of bucks. Pokimane is around 15 million US.
But you know what? They're like the top. That's I mean, this is going to sound really dumb, but that's not even that much.
Yeah, it's not compared to people.
Does that sound dumb? Like it's not like big fucking bucks. It's big bucks, but it's not like holy shit, like I don't know.
And that's definitely something you realize. I can't remember when it was a few months ago, whatever, but they released the top earners on Twitch, and you look at the percentage of people that can actually make a living from content creation. It's quite small. Yeah. Really,
do you know what, Grizz? Like, and I'm gonna preface this with, if streaming or content creation or anything in life is making you feel like shit, talk to someone and assess, always assess. I basically gave up content creation because I just didn't have time for it anymore. And quite frankly, like the whole numbers game is fucking toxic and deadly. Yeah, so I can only imagine what that's like in the upper echelons. But ultimately, like, I do feel like these people, they they glorify this idea of content creation, and people are always chasing that star. And the amount of people that get into this little tiny fucking bracket of people who actually make enough money to pay their rent is fucking minuscule. Yeah, and it's glorified to the point where people think, "Oh, I'm going to make it. It's fine." I've seen heaps of people who make it.
This really exacerbates that, Cap. You know, we're seeing the top of the fucking wazoo here that have basically gone, "I'm stepping back. I'm burnt out," and everything else. It doesn't matter whether you're small, what size you are, you're small or big, you're going to meet, if you're a content creator, you definitely come across these challenging moments in your time. And I actually applaud both Ninja and Pokemon for taking a step away from something that's probably not healthy for them at that point in time. Doesn't necessarily mean you might come back to that eventually, but I think that is we've seen, and I don't want to harp on this too much, Cap. Who was the guy that passed away through mental health issues? A couple of years ago. Just watch your mental health is I guess
absolutely.
The takeaway on this one.
Yeah.
Put yourself
Wreckful.
first, for sure.
Wreckful.
That's it. Wreckful.
Yeah, absolutely. Just please talk to someone, anyone, someone you loved. Basically, that's what you need to know. But yeah, overall, Grizz, it's just dude, streaming fucking sucks. Streaming is shit. Don't fucking do it. Do something else with your life.
By the way, go follow us on Twitch TV/Oceanic Gaming Radio.
Make us some big bucks, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Look, overall, Grizz, I think, do you think, and I'm going to sound like a fucking asshole saying this, do you think Ninjas was a bit of a stunt, maybe?
Potentially, because about 4 or 5 days before this happened, he posted something big is coming on his Twitter. And there has been
a big dummy spit
about Ninja bringing out his own streaming platform for quite a while now. No, Pav?
I literally just watched a video today, and there was someone saying it's very likely. Well, they think it's very likely. It's been a year since he joined Twitch and got his partnership. It's probably contract time, and he might be moving to YouTube.
Well, his tick's gone on Twitch, man.
Yeah.
So maybe it literally happened. That stream is like, fuck yes, I'm out here. Because I know people like Ninja and Pokemon sign physical documents around the amount of hours that they are required to stream and bits and pieces. So very interesting, mate.
Yeah, obviously it's all speculative, but I don't know.
Find out next week on OGR when I get to cover the streamer drama again, Cap?
No, not happening. This is the first and last time, pal. But yeah, okay. Very interesting. I suppose we'll watch this space, and if anything actually interesting happens, I suppose we'll cover it. But yeah, look, you know, we're just here to game. Now, also in gaming, Grizz, some Diablo Immortal players are finding themselves in debt.
Spoilers, it's Pav.
Yeah, it's Pav. Pav has put his house on the line. He's fucking going in deep. Okay. Classic, so I'm just going to quickly give you guys a quick definition here because I just find this to be the funniest thing of all time. So mobile gaming being the weird, bubble that it is, quite a large bubble. But I mean, there's an even small subset of bubbles. There's a smaller bubble within the big bubble. And inside that bubble are people who put like thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars into certain mobile games. God. And these people are called whales, basically.
Is that what they call them, Cap?
They call them whales. And the reason they call them whales is because game developers go hunting for these whales, essentially, because,
rare blubber. Yeah.
That rare blubber that's going to pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars for me doing very little in development. It's a big fucking payoff. So anyways, what's happened in Diablo Immortal, right? So they have these things called eternal orbs. Okay. Now, the Eternal Orbs are bought. They are a pay component, and you can use them to buy gems and all kinds of other fucking random shit that you buy in that godforsaken game that could have been so much better. Anyways, so what started to happen was these third-party companies started to sell these orbs. Now, I say companies very loosely. I think they might be not really companies, started to sell these, these orbs as well with these special bundle deals and bits and pieces, kind of like buying gold, I guess, off, so World of Warcraft or something.
Yeah, can you farm them or something?
No, you can't. But I think what people were doing were like, I think the whole idea was that like people found or bought like cheap or like good deals on like Apple Play Store credit and stuff, and then bought it through that and then resold the orbs like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of roughly how it was working.
Yeah.
Now what's happened, Grizz, is a lot of whales they went for the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean to go and get their orbs. And when they went to the Pacific Ocean, they then came back to the Atlantic to trade their orbs in. And then they logged in a little bit later and then found that they had a negative orb balance. So basically what's happened is they've revoked
these orbs. You can't have Pacific Ocean orbs.
Those are illegal orbs. We'll be taking your orbs off you. Give me your orbs back. So now what's happened, which I just find so funny, one of the top players showed an image where they have a balance of negative 2,491,025 orb balance.
Holy shiz. And how many spondules is that? That's a lot of dollars.
Now, apparently, that's almost $40,000 US.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. Now,
so what, does he owe Blizzard that money, or like what happens?
So this is the thing. It's not very well
you know
discussed.
What's, dude, this is fucking interesting. I got a note on my Hearthstone when I logged in yesterday saying that if you owed money on other Blizzard apps, that you wouldn't be able to spend even your acquired gold and stuff in Hearthstone or make any purchases. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's like a little tick
that's
box.
Brutal.
So obviously, like, if you fucked up on Diablo or Mortal, good luck buying anything Blizzard probably on your account.
Wow. So you're basically going to need a new account. Yeah. Well, from what we understand, they have to repay the orb debt, which is just the idea of this is just crazy. I just find it so hilarious, especially because, like, firstly, why are you fucking rewarding these idiots for making this fucking disgusting, shitty game?
That's a lot of money, dude.
And now they've shown their true colors and bitten their whales on the ass. So they're not going to be having a whale of a time in Diablo Immortal anytime soon, ladies and gentlemen.
I guess the other learning is here: don't buy shit through third parties either. It's like you just can't guarantee it.
Not a good idea. But yeah, so anyways, really, really interesting kind of story. I just think the whole idea of being indebted to Blizzard on a mobile game is just like the most 2022 fucking thing of all time. And just ultimately absolutely hilarious. Now, Grizz, speaking of hilarious, we put up amazing polls every freaking week, baby. And if you want to vote in those amazing Oceanic Gaming Radio polls, all you got to do is go follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/OGR show. That's OGR show. And you can go and follow us there. And each weekend, we will eventually post a cheeky poll, just like this one. Now, Grizz, you're going to walk me through what we got this week.
Absolutely, mate. I just want to quickly say, if you do vote on the poll, please write in the comments because we also talk about those as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Right. We had a pretty action RPG centric episode this episode, Cap. So we asked the viewers/listeners, what is your all-time favorite action RPG? Feel free to comment if the option is not available. So I'll do the options, Cap. You can do the results. We had Diablo 3, Path of Exile, Diablo 2 Remastered, and Diablo Immortal as the options.
Yep. You want me to go through
go, mate. Go
the final things? Yeah. Now, okay. So, with equal tie for third place at 4.8% of the vote, Path of Exile and Diablo Immortal. So Path of Exile is as good as this scummy fucking mobile app.
It's fucking bizarre,
yikes.
Honestly, dude.
I thought there'd be a way more on Path of Exile.
Yeah, I thought Path of Exile would take this. I thought there was more.
I didn't think it would take it, but I thought it would be maybe, maybe 3 or 4% off the top one or something. Interesting. Now, in second place was Diablo 2 Remastered with 42.9%, and first place was Diablo 3 with 47.6%. Now, this doesn't really surprise me. I think most people's, I guess,
Are you surprised that Diablo Immortal got a vote, Cap? Are you surprised in that?
I reckon it was Caging Run.
Yeah, probably.
Just
It was Pav.
It was Pav. It was fucking Pav. All right, revoke the vote. Revoke the vote.
What did you?
Well, it's
what
probably
did you,
the only fucking one he's played. Yeah.
yeah. What did
Classic.
you vote for, Cap? What did you put your vote in?
Honestly, I voted for Diablo 3. I love Diablo 2, but Diablo 3 was just better. Like, there was just I prefer the aesthetic and the story of 2, but the game systems in 3 trump it. And they both have really good stories. They both do a good job of telling their story. But I just think I preferred playing 3.
I did Diablo 2 remastered. I love the remaster. I thought they did a fantastic job. And I also, it's a lot of nostalgia for me, but it was pretty close. It was a hard decision between Diablo 3 and Diablo 2 Remastered. Now, Cap, we did get a couple of comments on this one. We had Chris Ingles come out and say Grim Dawn is one of my all-time favorite games, a bit grittier than Diablo. I 100% agree. It's a cracker.
Yeah, I've seen a few people. I played a little bit of Grim Dawn. Didn't stick with it just because I don't know why. But my time with it, I thought was great. From all accounts, Grim Dawn is an incredibly. It punches well above its weight in terms of the size of that dev team and everything else. I think they've done a really really good job with that IP, and hopefully they bring out more. But yeah,
I hope so. The other one, Cap, was Titan Quest. Did you ever play Titan Quest?
Loved Titan Quest.
Yeah,
Titan Quest was great.
Man.
Really
I actually forgot
fucking
about that. Me, Mikey, and Curdy used to do some LANs of that game when that came out. I actually totally forgot that game existed until who was it?
Yeah, cracker of a game.
Yeah,
God, Titan Quest. Shit, I can't. I did play it, but it's kind of it was very Diablo-y, wasn't it? In its kind of
a bit more brighter colors.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but less doom and gloom, a bit more. Yeah.
You know what?
Fantastic.
When you talk about Path of Exile not having a, what did you call, like an art style or feel about it, Titan Quest definitely did have that. Like it was almost like Egyptian, or there was something kind of that was very thematic about it.
Yeah, wasn't it kind of like mythological kind of stuff? Like it kind of ticked into there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, also another comment we had was from Strops. I love this old PS2 one called Champions of Norath, which I've never heard of, frankly. It was sick. Remember getting a demo for it in one of those PS2 magazines. Damn, that takes me fucking back. Remember getting those old magazines and you just play all the fucking random shit that came out on the CD, and there was some absolute garbage on there as well. But yeah, guys, thank you for voting. Thank you for commenting. We really bloody appreciate it. Again, twitter.com/OGR show. Get your votes in each week and drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Now, Grizz, we've also got the quickfire, baby.
Quickfire.
So, do you want me to start her off?
Go for it, mate. I'll grab the next one.
All right. Now, we wrote this from Monday, and there's been some developments, shall we say, Grizzly Gaming. Basically, Assassin's Creed Mirage was basically rumored to be the next franchise or game in the Ubisoft franchise, Assassin's Creed, which was supposed to be set in somewhere in the Middle East. The name is not coming to me. Why is it not? I can't remember. But yeah, anyways, set somewhere in there, kind of. A lot of people were thinking, oh, they must be going back to their roots. They're trying to, because I feel like Ubisoft has kind of just suffered from this like insane RPG fucking bloat in their Assassin's Creed games, to the point where they do not resemble Assassin's Creed anymore, dude. They're just an open world game now, vaguely tied to the Assassin's Creed franchise. Like if you look at Assassin's Creed 1 and you compare it to where it is now, gross. I actually I didn't mind it when they first brought it out. Thought, oh, this is interesting. Okay. And then as the iterations just kept coming, I was just like, God, what are you guys doing? You idiots. Anyways, so I think Sukai's saying Baghdad in the chat. So I'm going to take his word for it and say the next Assassin's Creed game, Mirage, is going to be set in Baghdad. And I believe it's before Assassin's Creed 1 in time.
Okay.
So
I wonder if they'll take it
interesting.
back. Yeah, it might take it back to its roots a little bit, Capo, potentially.
Yeah, so maybe it might be a bit of a I don't know, a bit of a swan song. Maybe try and get it back on its feet again. Maybe they'll do something completely different. Highly doubt it, but we'll see. Now, since this information's come out, Grizz, there's also been rumors that have come from a bunch of I don't know, that like fucking sourced games journalists saying that there's a rumor coming out that there is in fact 2 extra Assassin's Creed games coming as well. They've got Assassin's Creed Red, which is a project name, essentially supposed to be an Assassin's Creed set in Japan, which has been a much kind of requested location for a very long time. Now, that was also rumored, and it seems like it's kind of, the rumors kind of coalescing a bit further. Now, the other one that was quite interesting is this other one called Assassin's Creed. I can't remember what they called it. Anyways, the other one is going to be set during the Salem witch trials, which I think is actually quite a cool. Could be a very cool location and aesthetic, depending on how they go with it. So I would assume, I guess, America, Salem witch trials, could be.
I was really excited
interesting
for the Nordic stuff of Valhalla, Cap, but still it didn't tickle me the right way, mate. So we shall see, I guess.
Yeah, it's a shame, dude. I do feel like the game is just slowly dying from just being bloated with just more and more open world RPG bullshit. Can they fix that? Who knows? I wish they just go back to making a really good single player experience, and just whether it's fairly linear or slightly open world like the earlier games were. I don't know. I tell you what though, the Salem witch trials thing really interests me, because I think the whole like kind of Assassins versus Templars thing that is going on in Assassin's Creed, that sounds like an excellent place for a battle like that to take place and use that as a narrative element. I just think that could be really fucking cool if true.
Really cool.
Again, all rumors at the moment, but Assassin's Creed Mirage is certainly coming out. They have announced it formally, and it will be set in Baghdad.
Well, there you go. Speaking of rumors, Cap, Zelda-based Nintendo Direct is reported for September, and we have a couple of things from a reasonably well-known video game journalist of the name of Jeff Grubb, who is basically Mr. Grubb. He has explained that we are going to hear about Zelda, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess re-releases, as well as focusing on a possible name reveal of Breath of the Wild sequel. So this number 2, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah. Now it's interesting because a lot of people have kind of said that, well, because the working name has been Breath of the Wild 2 for the longest time, but obviously it's not going to be called Breath of the Wild 2. It'll be like, The Legend of Zelda. It might even have a different name to Breath of the Wild. It might be The Legend of Zelda Grizz's Revenge or some shit. I don't know.
Ooh,
but
cool.
Yeah, it could be something really cool like that. I think that might give away maybe some of the narrative elements, perhaps.
We are seeing it from what we've seen, a fair bit of gameplay up in the clouds and these almost like cloud islands and bits and pieces. So I wonder whether that will be some kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some kind of,
or maybe there's some other elements that maybe the name kind of draws from, that gameplay elements or narrative elements that, it's going to be interesting. Well, I mean, God, surely we're getting close to some more news for Breath of the Wild, Grizz. Like, when was the last fucking time we heard about that game? Earlier in the year?
I think this September Direct hopefully can give us a little bit more, Cap. But this is not all. He's also gone on to say, Cap, that there could be a Metroid Prime remaster coming as well. I actually never played Metroid Prime, but if it's a remaster, maybe that's worth looking
I think
at.
That's the 3D one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was like the Nintendo 64 one, potentially, or it might even be the one that was on...
Might be GameCube.
There was one that was on maybe on the GameCube. Yeah, actually, I think you're right.
I think it might be GameCube, actually.
Yeah.
Now, I believe I played it, but, those memories are pretty hazy, Grizz. But I'm aware of the community sentiment and love for those games, and they've been heavily speedrun and all kinds of shit. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that, Grizz. Now, do you think, Grizz, we get a release date for Breath of the Wild 2?
Geez, I don't know. I have no idea. What do you think? I feel like it's been worked on for
Jesus.
quite a while now. I wouldn't be surprised, Cap, honestly, if they give us.
Surely they say first half of next year or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not first half of next year. Maybe they give us a rough time because I feel like we haven't had anything yet. We've had
nice
nothing.
to have a 2023 committed release date would be.
Yeah,
would be
window.
okay. Yeah.
A big wide window for them to inevitably push back on. But yeah. Now, Grizz, another part of this I wanted to sort of find out from you was, did you play either of Wind Waker or Twilight Princess?
I think I played a little bit of Wind Waker. Twilight Princess, I gave that a crack as well, and I didn't like the. No, that was Majora's Mask. Twilight Princess. Oh, maybe not. No, I don't think I did. I didn't play that. No.
Now, Twilight Princess came out dual on. It was kind of like at the end of the GameCube's lifespan, and then into the Wii's lifespan.
Oh, I played it on Wii. I did play this on Wii. Yeah, that's what it was kind of ringing bells. Yeah. I didn't finish it, but I definitely had it, along with some other weird bow game that you could play on Wii as well, and you could shoot stuff with your bow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd actually say Twilight Princess is one of my favorite Zelda titles. The aesthetic was fucking dope. Had a really good open world that was going on in there. I just feel like they did everything really well, and I think Skyward Sword came out after that didn't quite hit the same notes. It was a little bit more dark and gritty. As dark and gritty as a Legend of Zelda title can be, but
Wind Waker was on the DS or something, wasn't it, Cap? Was that the one that was on
Wind
the DS?
Waker? No, that was on the GameCube as well. That was one of the first GameCube, early in the GameCube release sketch. It was a cel-shaded Zelda game, and I remember when it first came out, people were shitting their pants.
That's right.
They were so angry with the design and style of the game.
It looks very different. They've done a Monkey's Island, mate. Just fucking made the game.
I know, and
different.
it turned out to be an absolute fucking masterpiece. And the art style totally rocked it. So just don't listen to gamers, game devs. Just fucking make your game and put it out there and go from there. That goes to you, Monkey Island devs. Now, Grizz.
Yes, sir.
Prey, 2017. That game that came out from Bethesda. It was made by the same people who did Arcane Studios. They're the guys who did Dishonored and stuff. Now, Prey was this kind of like sci-fi freaking masterpiece game that I just think is one of the best fucking games I've ever played. Brilliant fucking game. Can't believe it. It didn't get the love it deserved. Now, a dev has kind of come out and said, we didn't want to call the game Prey, but Bethesda made us.
You're kidding. Is that right, dude?
True.
Okay.
So they basically, they owned the IP and they just wanted to put the name to something to try and
I wonder what they
kind of sell
wanted to
copies.
call it. That'd be interesting to hear some of the names.
But regardless, the dev actually thinks that the name Prey didn't do the game any favors. In fact, they think it might have been a poor marketing decision because players of the previous Prey games probably went, well, I'm not fucking playing that game. I want actual Prey. So, yeah.
Wow. There you go, mate.
Very, very interesting.
It's amazing what gets enforced by game devs like that. Like, they've got a bit of power. Hey, Cap, this one, I actually didn't read this till now. It's close to my heart. I love this game. Terraria is the first game with 1 million overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. If you have not played Terraria, go buy Terraria. You will not be disappointed. It is an absolute cracker of a game.
1 million.
Man,
that's nuts.
That
is absolutely crazy. So that's 1 million people who have found the time to write a overwhelmingly positive review. But it just kind of says, I wonder how many copies they've sold of that fucking game.
Oh, it'd be massive, I reckon.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed playing through that with Jimmy. Other bits and pieces. I still go back to it every now and then. There's just so much in that game, and there's so many ways to play that game. It's got difficulties right up to one death runs and you're done. Master mode. It's got a creative mode that's fantastic. You can remove all the monsters and just build and have fun and explore the world. They really did an amazing job. It's a good game. Lots.
Yeah.
You know what, Cap? Lots of free content updates throughout the life cycle of that game,
which is impressive.
They had Journey's End, which is the last last bit of content they brought out for it. But we're constantly bringing out bits and pieces, new items, new builds, new classes, and things in that game. So
Very rad, man. It's good to see devs. I mean, obviously, it's pretty easy to support a game when you get paid that much money because you're selling a lot of copies. But it is nice to see devs kind of continue to support their video games. Now, Grizz, one dev that's definitely sounds like they're supporting their video game a lot is the Callisto Protocol devs. Now, I don't know if this guy was trying to flex. Glenn Schofield is one of the big, the big devs on this game. He used to work for Visceral, and worked on Dead Space. So he's one of the masterminds for this new Callisto Protocol project that's supposed to be kind of mirroring Dead Space. Basically, Glenn basically came out and said, now I'm going to read the tweet verbatim because it just sounds like he's been a fucking idiot, basically. I only talk about the game during an event. We are working 6 to 7 days a week. Nobody's forcing us. Exhaustion, tired, COVID, but we're working. Bugs, glitches, perf fixes. One last pass through audio, 12 to 15 hours, days. This is gaming, hard work, lunch, dinner, working. You do it because you love it. Now, I don't know if that's much of a flex, really, because it just kind of like insinuates to me that like you've done a shit job of trying to plan your development, and then on top of that, you're basically making all your workers pay for that. Yeah, it's just gross. Like I think glorifying poor work conditions is not great. Okay, maybe you love it, but I tell you what, Glenn, I mean, I'm betting you that not all the people on your team are loving that.
Absolutely.
People with young children, people with commitments, all kinds of shit. That is not fucking fun. And he has subsequently deleted the tweet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. You know what? You know what is good, Cap, is I feel like we're holding companies more accountable to this stuff now, whereas 5-10 years ago it's just part of the job and what you do. But I feel like just us talking about it and going, yeah, that sucks, is a step in the right direction in itself.
Yeah. What do they say, Grizz? Fucking work to live, don't live to work. That's what I'm all about, baby.
Mate. Yep. Now, I am going to provide a slight trigger warning on this next quickfire one, transphobia. If that is something that pisses you off, just block your ears for 30 seconds. Cap, management simulator called Domina has been delisted from Steam after the developer Dolphin Barn Interactive used the platform to share a transphobic outburst. In a news post on its Steam page, the studio basically claimed that the game's name had been changed to Dominus and referred to Domina as its dead name, before mocking the trans community in a long paragraph mentioning the sex change of the title. Quite tasteless and poor form from them. So
gross. Fucking come into the fucking present century and pull your fucking head in, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, good to see them delisted from Steam. Other bits and pieces. So
good riddance. Fuck them off. See you later, dickheads. All right, now Grizz, Xbox Friends and Family Plan. It has been revealed, so you can now, in certain countries, including Ireland and Colombia, you can buy the Xbox Friends and Family tier of the Xbox Game Pass. Now, this gives you basically the ability to onboard. I think it's 4 members of your family, including yourself, onto a single Xbox Game Pass plan, and the pricing is about it's about $10 more than your current Xbox Game Pass plan. So that's USD. So it's probably going to be about $15 extra Australian. But I mean, if you and 3 mates all go in on a family plan, that's fucking good value, dude.
Let's do it, mate. Pete shares a fucking Blizzard account, World of Warcraft account.
I know.
Actually, that's probably illegal, isn't it?
I think it is.
I didn't say his last name.
His name Pitt. He said P-I-T. Pitt.
Yeah, Pitt.
Yeah. Pitt. But yeah, so look, more ways to save. Xbox really are going all in on their Xbox Game Pass thing, and it seems to be working for them, dude. It seems to be getting them a lot of Grizz. Oh, do you know what? This fucking reminded me. Now, I know we're probably going to go slightly over on the time. Sorry about that. I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll enjoy listening to us for another 5 fucking minutes. I have to tell you this one, Grizz. A guy, now what the fuck is his name? Gary Whitta. He is a games journalist. He also wrote Rogue One, Star Wars. He's a bit of a fucking legend in the games industry. He apparently has irrefutable proof that he hasn't shared, but I believe him because he's a believable guy, that Cult of the Lamb was the game that Sony paid to not be on Xbox Game Pass.
Really?
Really?
You'd believe Gary Whitta.
I believe Gary Whitta.
Games Daily podcast, doesn't he? Is that the guy?
He does. Kind of Funny Games. Go and check him out. Very much more professional podcast than this little fucking thing we got going on here. But they're not Australian, so they don't get points on that.
Fucking hell, mate. That is insane. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know for sure, but sounded pretty fucking legit.
They must have known it was going to go off. Well, Sony must have known that it was going to absolutely clamp as a game.
Yeah. So guy in chat saying Gary's a troll. Agreed. Absolute fucking troll. But also, I don't think like this is something he'd lie about. Because it's kind of like, I do actually kind of feel like this is something you could get in the shit for if it was incorrect.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And he probably knows that. Like he's corporate. He knows his shit. But anyways, so going back to it, Grizz, Xbox Friends and Family Plan, pricing revealed. It's coming to other countries soon, so you'll be able to onboard yourself. Only available in Ireland and Colombia at the moment.
Okay. So Capo, China's leading internet and online gaming service providers, today announced that its games division, NetEase Games, has acquired Quantic Dream SA. Now, Quantic Dream is a multi-award-winning studio that is the creator of iconic games such as Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human. So
so they tend to do these kind of like single-player, like choose your own path kind of story experiences, but obviously pretty in-depth ones. But they're pretty beloved. So yeah. Quite interesting, Grizz. NetEase Games.
Is that going to add a bit to that IP? Cap, do you think like Quantic Dream going to have a bit of extra spondles and things?
I think they've been working on.
Detroit was quite highly regarded, wasn't it? Detroit Become Human. Yeah,
I think Detroit did quite well for itself. Now, Alan Wake was obviously a massive one, and Alan Wake is getting a remaster, I believe. Wake remaster. So I think they're working on that. Yes, it was announced last year. Detroit. Now, Alan Wake 2, was that a thing? I feel like it was.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard of that before.
Was? Oh, it's coming out next year, I think. So it's getting a fucking remaster and a sequel in like a year, dude, which is nuts. So
crazy.
Yeah. NetEase is going, I want some of that cash money. So yeah, there you go. Now, Grizz, the 200,000th separate version of Skyrim has been announced. The anniversary edition of Skyrim has been rated for Switch. Now, it wasn't announced, sorry. It's been rated for Switch. So we know it's coming to Switch. It's been rated. Man,
I can't wait
talk about squeezing blood from a stone, mate. Jesus
15
Christ.
frames per second, Cap.
Well, actually, that's a very good point, mate. But, fucking hell. Surely Skyrim could run on your toaster. They probably does. There's probably a toaster that does run Skyrim. It's come to every other platform, so makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, cool. Cap, Logitech Cloud Gaming handheld is real, and it's coming to a store near you. Logitech has partnered with our favorite friends that we'll talk about earlier tonight, Tencent Games, to create a handheld gaming device that runs on Android. The unnamed device is expected to launch sometime in 2022. And is designed to support multiple cloud gaming services. Yeah. So things like NVIDIA GeForce, Xbox Cloud Gaming. So
yeah. So I think it's important to note that this will be a purely cloud gaming experience. Yeah. I don't believe there's going to be any games on the actual physical device. It will literally basically just be a screen with a joystick attached, I guess. But pretty interesting.
You would feel if Tencent throwing some bucks at this. They obviously have pretty high hopes that this will be successful. And we touched on cloud gaming as a whole as the way to consume gaming in general as being something that's potentially going to take off.
Well, Grizz, I find this actually kind of bizarre, right? I still feel like we're not quite there yet. And when you think about
in Australia, we're not. Fuck no way, internet's shit.
No, but okay, so this is obviously a handheld gaming device, which kind of implies that gaming on the go. How the fuck are you going to stream games out in the train or out in the bus? Like, you're not going to be able to. You have to, this is going to be a purely at-home experience, I think, for most people. So,
dude, I play Hearthstone on my tablet and I just tether from my phone. I get
but you're not streaming
mobile internet.
You're not streaming it. You're playing the game and you're streaming packets of that game. You're not streaming a video feed of the game that's being run off a NVIDIA server in the middle of Texas somewhere to your device, right? It's not like not like Netflix.
But all you really need to stream is internet, though, right? High-speed internet.
Yeah, but yes, absolutely. But you also need high-fidelity internet access that doesn't drop in and out.
Yeah, that's the issue. And this is what I'm getting back to. Australian internet, mate, even mobile internet's garbage. Most major cities don't have that problem of internet dropping in and out and bits and pieces. Well, maybe you're on the train and stuff. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, that's what I mean. I feel like most countries will probably have that issue. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes in actual, out and about, utilizing it as a gaming device.
Very interesting. Watch this space. Yeah,
watch this space. Indeed.
I wonder if it'll have an Ethernet port on it so you can plug it in when you get home. Fucking the Switch doesn't. I hate that.
Oh man. Well, you can get a thing for it, can't you? I don't know.
Yeah, you can get an adapter. Yeah.
All right, now, Grizz, the final story on the run sheet, probably the most important story that we've covered all day, really. Big Chungus is probably coming to multiverses. You know what Big Chungus is?
Is that you, Cap?
How fucking dare you? Do you know what? Just Google Big Chungus right now.
All right, let me have a look.
Google Big Chungus, and I think you're about to I think you're about to have a real good time.
The big bunny, is that what I'm looking at? What?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a skin for fucking, what's the rabbit called? How can I not remember the rabbit's name?
Bugs.
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a Bugs Bunny skin. And obviously it's, the actual animation with that particular meme in it actually happened. So it's not like someone creatively created that. So the IP to that particular image is owned presumably by Warner Brothers. So they are able to effectively license that particular skin, I guess. Now the thing is, do they call it Big Chungus in the game?
Surely.
Please tell me, Warner Brothers, that you're not fucking this up and you call it Big Chungus, because I will play that game if I can play as Big Chungus.
There's a Big Chungus song that I've just linked in the Twitch chat that is pretty catchy. It's just got a picture of Big Chungus just hanging out. Love it.
Yeah, big fan. So anyways, that's our quickfire round, and that is our episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you guys coming out every week and sitting in here and listening either via twitch.tv/Oceanic Gaming Radio. Normally we're live every Monday from 7 p.m. Australian Western Standard Time, or you can listen to us live. Not live, sorry. Post-recorded podcast. What is happening? Anyways, I can't fucking talk. You can listen to the podcast in your own leisure, anytime you like. So you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically all of your favorite podcast platforms. Just look up Oceanic Gaming Radio or check out the links in the description of this Twitch chat /podcast/ everything else. Now, one thing we always ask, please share this podcast. Don't fucking care how you do it. Just share it. That's your job. One fucking job.
On Twitter. Retweet it on Twitter. Put it on your Facebook.
Tell your nan.
Send it to your mum.
Yep. Tell your mum as well. But yeah, just fucking tell someone, please. Dear God. We appreciate it. But actually, our numbers have been really good lately, so we bloody appreciate you. I think we're experiencing some organic growth. We are experiencing some organic growth. So that's nice. It's really good. But yeah. So, anyways, now what else do I have to say? If you want to push some money into our wallets, you can. Patreon.com/OGR show. We'd appreciate it. Any money we make is going to go towards Pav's PC, which he is working on. So that's where it's a fucking Pav's PC fucking piggy bank. So appreciate you.
My mum would actually come in here and complain about the swearing, says Spork. I reckon my mum would too, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, yeah, so would my mum. Well, no, my mum wouldn't. Yeah, she'd probably say the C word or something. Anyways, but yeah, so yeah, anyways, that's the podcast. Appreciate you being here. Maybe the next poll will be, should we swear less?
Yeah.
Maybe do we swear too much?
I do have to mark it explicit when I upload. So that's your answer.
Yeah, okay.
No, there's other heaps of podcasts.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
No? You don't reckon, Kazi? Kazi's super conservative, mate. So if he says no, I reckon we're good.
Yeah, we got it.
Kidding, mate. It's all good. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, guys. Appreciate you. And we'll see you next time on Oceanic Gaming Radio.
Bye. Hey, Cap. Fuck you.
Wait. Yeah, good episode, fellas.
Got to get the swears in.
Solid
Yeah, very
episode.
nice, boys. Nice run sheet, Capo. Nailed it, mate.
I like how we kind of aim for like an hour 30 and then we just end up going like an extra 10 minutes or so. Anyway.
Close to 20, but
Yeah. You know, hey, whatever.
Boys, I need to go eat my dinner.
Yeah.
I'm
No, it's fine, mate.
starving.
Ron,
hey,
we-
we have Nibras online, and so is
Nibs.
Pickle. So maybe,
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yep. Let me have a look as
Some-
well.
what was I going to say? Title of the episode?
Ooh,
Um,
I got
so
a
it
good
needs to be
suggestion.
clickbaity.
yeah, what have you got?
Maybe not too clickbaity, but I got a good suggestion from Scylla. I don't think he knew that he was giving a suggestion, but Don't Deduct the Orbs, episode 30.
Don't
Yeah.
deduct the orbs.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
I think you should definitely be a Diablo Immortal. What about Diablo Immortal players?
How about like something like that, like oh fuck. Yeah, something like that. I think the debt aspect is important to put in the title, you know? And you don't want to give too much away.
Blizzard sending out debt collectors. Blizzard.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Taking
Yeah.
a second mortgage to play Immortal.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sending out debt collectors.
Literal,
Oh, yeah.
literal debt collection. Something like that. I don't know.
The
Literal-
whales. That was the part about the whales. Yep.
Blizzard sending out debt collectors.
Yep.
Blizzard is sending out debt collectors. Fuck, we're never gonna get what do you call it, Cap? Sponsored by Blizzard.
I tell you who else is online is Fluke, who hosted us the other day.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fluke
Yeah, let's do
Fluke is
Fluke.
one of the people who I keep running into these IRL events and has frequently
Let's do
commented
a
on the
Fluke
podcast.
raid.
So I would
Yeah.
love to rate Fluke.
Yep. Let's rock Fluke.
Are we
Do
sticking
it.
with Blizzard is sending out debt collectors? Any better suggestions?
Yep.
Love it.
Locking it in.
That'll do. Lock
Excellent,
it in,
boys.
baby.
We will see you all next Monday.
But
for
do a
episode
question
31.
mark. Do a question mark with
Oh,
it.
yeah, I like that. Good.
Because then
See
people
you.
go, oh,
Touch. Oh.
See you, chatters.
all right,
Love your
guys.
work.
Oh, hang on. We haven't done the freaking thing.
What
Thing.
thing? Smork.
How do we
the
do that
small-
again?
Kazi.
The disrespected, baby.
30 for 30. One, no, not quite.
There we go. Copy and paste that.
Beautiful.
Love your OGR community, despite your questionable tier collection. You guys are great. But yeah, we'll see you guys on the other side. Make sure you go and drop that big old OGR raid. Copy that bad boy. And we're going to go and see Fluke. Make sure you give him a follow. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Monday. It'll be Monday this time. Promise you.
All over it.
See you guys.
Bye.